Okay, hi everybody, it's Andy Maguire here. Tonight I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I am shooting some live theatre, which is a quite difficult skill to do because first of all you have to have a little bit of theatrical knack to anticipate moments that are going to come, and you've got to snap them really instinctively quite quickly, and you've got to be in the right place at the right time. You've got to know how to use the manual and semi-automatic modes. I normally put the camera into semi-auto mode. I normally shoot in aperture priority when I'm indoors because of the low lights. Well, that's mainly the big one really, and the colour of the light is different as well. So we'll talk about that later. But I will be shooting a fringe theatre version of Romeo and Juliet. I'm really excited to do this because I haven't shot any theatre for a long time. So we're going to head to Stratford Upon Avon, and you guys are going to be time-lapsed the hell out of. Let's go. Okay, hello. Right, so after that nightmare of trying to find somewhere to park, finally got myself sorted. So welcome to Stratford Upon Avon. Okay, so we're crossing the bridge now, and I've just got to show you this view, this vantage point of the RSC. It looks pretty sexy. Check this out. The theatre that I'll be shooting in is just behind me, just over there. It's called the Attic Theatre, which for any of you local people with local knowledge will know as Cox's Yard. So Tread the Boards are the resident theatre company here. So what I wanted to talk about is actual shot settings for what I'm going to be doing. So because we're working in very confined spaces, as you'll see, the theatre is quite small and very low light, zero natural light. It's going to be all theatre lights. We're going to have quite a few lights. I'm just going to sit by the seat by the water's edge just while I vlog this little bit. So I'm going to be shooting at, with my nifty 50, quite a lot of it. I'm going to be shooting at 1.8 most of the time if I can. So that means I'm going to really have to be careful with my focusing. So that's why I try and bang 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 bang. I try and fire off lots of frames to try and make sure that I get that key shot. And look at this young man here. These swans around here are real opportunists. They're used to being fed a lot, so they're quite brave. So as I was saying, yeah, I'm going to try and shoot as wide as possible. I've brought my 70-200 with me. Might not even get that out because it's such a small space. I've brought my nifty 50 1.8, and I've also brought my Sigma 1.8 18-35, which I will be trying out. I've not used that indoors before, or certainly not for, I've used that for weddings, but I haven't actually used that for shooting theatre. So that'll be, I'm looking forward to doing that. But I still can't get over this evening. It's a lovely evening. So I won't be able to do much talking when I'm in there because obviously that's a little bit taboo really to talk through a theatrical performance. So I'm going to get cracking and I'll talk to you afterwards, and I'll obviously be uploading some of the photos to a blog, and I'll also be popping these photos up. I'll try and get some of the shot testings in for you as well. So one thing I forgot to mention is I'm going to shoot in aperture priority because I won't have time to calculate the shutter speed. A lot of people will say, well, why don't you just set your ISO, set your aperture at 1.8 and then just keep fiddling with the shutter speed. I'm not going to do that. So I'm actually, I find it much easier just to put it in semi-automatic, and then it will give me the correct shutter speed. Now, one thing to remember is you need to always have that. If you're handheld, you need to be above a 60th of a second. Anything less than that, with the majority of DSLRs, you will get camera shake. Even the most steady hand in the whole world probably won't be able to avoid motion blur. So always keep that shutter speed above 60th of a second, and you can do that by boosting the ISO. So that will be my variable today, my ISO. and my shutters, my aperture will be very wide, probably around about 1.8, 2.8, certainly no wider than 4. So if you haven't got a lens that can shoot below f4, you're really going to struggle to shoot live theatre, and that's probably the same as live music as well, because the light is so difficult to shoot in. So I'm going to get cracking now. I'm going to meet the guys, and yeah, I'm looking forward to having to getting the camera out and seeing what we can get. So welcome to Stratford. Feeling very theatrical here in Stratford. There's no one around. It's crazy.
Am I like such a fellow?
Oh, come, thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as any in France, and as soon moved to be moody as thou art moody to be moved.
What to?
I didn't actually realise at this point that I didn't actually have any sound. Unfortunately, I had to get home to realise that I had inconveniently missed off my big eureka moment, which I'm about to mention. My eureka moment at the time was that I was switching to manual, and I was choosing to shoot at 100th of a second at, well, the lowest F number that I possibly could, and in my hand there is the 70 to 200 sigma, which would have been 2.8, and I would have been varying the ISO depending on the lighting changes, and probably the shutter speed, so keeping the aperture as wide as possible. So that's pretty much what I was going on about.
All are punished! Glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. Never was a story of more woe than this, of Juliet and her Romeo.
So you probably know which mask to look at.
No.
Romeo and Juliet, go put your mask on. Go put your pretty mask on.
Go and get changed as quickly as you can and then come back in for notes.
I don't want to.
Really quickly. Go and change and then come back